Les rêves des amoureux sont comme le bon vin.
Hi, I wanted to tell you about the difference between Italy and Colombian gastronomy, so we are going to start with Colombia, that is one of the countries that have a lot of variety, thanks to its big repertoire of ingredients native to the country, like fruit, grains, vegetables, and of course the people who lets blow their imagination and is the creator of literally artworks. There we have passed for a mix of cultures, not just our indigenous, we also were influenced by Africans and Spain people before they arrived in America in 19th and 20th centuries. The native people used to eat tubers, corn, animals, and fruits. They have a basic diet. The things that they ate were some easy, wearing composed structured dishes. That kind of food was cooked in oven woods. The variety of the dishes depends on the zone where those be done. The bandeja paisa that you could eat in the capital is not going to be the same that you could eat in the Atlantic. Everything is a plainly different, of course had similar things and flavors. I hope that in some years, maybe 10, we will have been one of the most popular countries in gastronomy. Also that the world know about us for our immaculate flavors and unique experience. In some years we will be having a big takeoff forward to the exclusive culinary world. I am really upbeat, and that's what I hope that in the future our country will have recognized for its multiple awards and badges in the kitchen.
Well, Colombia is characterized by typical and delicious food. An advantage of our country is the variety of dishes. For example, we have tamales, arepas, envueltos, and others. In this case, I am going to talk about two dishes very common in Colombia. The first one is ajiaco. Ajiaco is a unique Colombia dish, especially beloved in the city of Bogota. It's a heavy chicken soup made with potatoes and corn on the cob. Nowadays, there is an ajiaco competition. During 1 week, they must eat that dish, and the judges will have elected the best ajiaco prepared for the participants. The second one is bandeja paisa. It was originally considered peasant food because farmers in the Antioquia region would eat the protein-packed meal for breakfast before working in the fields. Currently, bandeja paisa, with all its components, isn't considered peasant food. The dish is usually one of the most expensive meals on menus because it's such a large serving of food. Colombia is and will be a gastronomy power. It's important to recognize that we can be a country characterized by our food. I hope that in the future Colombia will have won a lot of trophies for our excellent food. In addition to that, we must know that Colombia has a variety of essences and condiments which makes us in some ways superior in the seasoning ambit. A large number of restaurants belong to important chefs who, when they were children, thought that in the future they would have started and created his restaurant, but the reality was those chefs have to travel to Europe or other continent to realize that dream, so we have to support that dreams. The chefs also are important in our society.
Affaibli par la faim, je suis malheureux.
Italian gastronomy history will be one of the most important cuisines around the globe because of its history and mix of many cultures that have been preparing and creating plenty of amazing recipes in the kitchen. Even when Italy had ups and downs in the Dark Ages, they played an important role in wines and candies. For that reason, they were not loose. They decided to be such a country rich in flavors and experiences. And finally, you will have waited for a perfect plate for your whole life before you taste an Italian dish.
Italy has a large number of delicious food that is characterized by its variety of smells and tastes, inspired by Mediterranean diet. Several of them are significant budgets of this country, and we must enjoy them if we will be visiting this beautiful place. In first place, we have maybe one of the most important dishes there, that is pizza. And we must feel a bit about it because pizza has a lot of flavors that can easily fit with any palate. Therefore, we can say that pizza will have evolved in the future, adapting to new tendencies. We cannot leave behind plenty of other places, such as carpaccio and gelato. those dishes that will have been even more famous by the time we will be visiting and traveling to some specific areas of Italy. Looking at the bright side, obviously. Finally, something that you can feel sure about the Italian gastronomy is that you don't have to feel like you are reading, because this kind of gastronomy is what you will be looking forward your entire life. Do you remember that Discovery Home and Health program in which an Italian chef shows his cakes and his amazing talent? Cake Boss.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I loved it. All those incredible cakes look delicious.
Yes, well, you're the one who's always asking about how it started this place, and yesterday I found out that Buddy mentioned in an interview that thanks to the popularity and success of the show, he was able to start his own bakery chain. So if I had traveled to New York, I would visit the Carlos Bake Shop.
Oh really? But what about his life? Did they mention something?
Also, the reporter asking him about his purpose in life, referring to his gastronomy career, he said that his family will always be in first place. And that's why even his job is a family business. That is always improving and trying to spread the Italian taste to others, making them happier and creating new and different experiences. So I do believe that Buddy is always trying to innovate with his job and impacting our lives with such delicious desserts.
Absolutely incredible. I would be in the mess if I hadn't listened to your review. But Sophie, what aspect do you think could be the best in this interview?
Maybe I imagine the most amazing thing about this interview was how they showed the process of making their most difficult and challenging cakes. If I didn't watch the program all the time, I wouldn't have been hungry since yesterday.
Oh my god, all you say is awesome. I didn't know that, but do you know Antonio Carluccio? In an old BBC interview, he says that the Italian food, I imagine that in fact the kitchen, had been seen as really beneficial for him and everyone who was around him. When he talked about the Italian dish that is on his heart, it's so difficult to select just one, because there's a lot of dishes according to each region, and he said that he likes to take the speciality of each region where he is at the moment.
I mean, it is hard to say just one because any food has an unique and special flavor, and I suppose that is like he said, the Italian food come homes is being translated to the restaurant. So that makes me think if American hadn't been discovered, the new ingredients wouldn't be part of the delicious food, like, I don't know, potatoes and tomatoes, that in fact are essentially in the Italian kitchen.
In fact, there are many interesting things, but I have a really good one. I can't believe what I just saw. It is about an expert in Italian food. His name is Vincenzo, and he said that Italian food is one of the most important gastronomies in the world. He explained how pizza is the most popular food in the world. Also, he showed that Italy had changed so many times in their cultures, and I remember that if Pietro hadn't founded the first pizza restaurant in 1780, it wouldn't be known.
Wow, that's right. Italian cuisine obtains many of their amazing plates thanks to the mix of countries and different styles of cooking. So there's no way I can imagine a world without the oldest kitchen in history.
Definitely. However, what do you think could be the success of this gastronomy? I mean, if I had not watched this video, I wouldn't understand the great history that it has.
I would like to answer this question. Vincenzo said that when he lived in Italy, he was impressed with the great difference from city to city. So the success of this gastronomy is the variety that they have and how all these mixes create such beautiful art.
Perhaps that is why people like to travel and enjoy many extraordinary food, such a nice activity to do in a city. All those things have years of history. For example, if Naples hadn't grilled liver de coquina, we might never know that the Italian kitchen is reminiscent of the 13th century.
Yes, it's true. For For example, a few days ago I saw an interview too in BBC News. In this interview was Massimo Bottura. He said that in his future, always had a future. He said something very important. We are cooks because used to making things to restore people's souls, and that is amazing.
I don't believe you. What words are so beautiful. If you hadn't told me all those things, I wouldn't have known about Massimo Bottura.
For example, if you had been a customer in his restaurant, you would listen that each mouthful represents the passion of the cook.
But Paula, he was able to attain his dream because many cooks, since they were children, always have essentially wanted to be chefs, but many times they don't make it.
Yes, right. Also, in that interview, I could see that such dishes that created the cooks, and especially Massive, represent each feeling, dream, and passion of their life.
Well, I think it was an amazing conversation. I learned new things about Italian food history and was nice to see you guys again.
Bye!
See you!
Well, guys, who do you think it is going to be our next MasterChef Italy 2021?
It looks promising tonight for us. Don't you think? It is your last opportunity to show your talent to the whole world. You could have been doing and learning well, or maybe not. In this challenge, you will be doing the best Italian dish that you have ever imagined.
I'm really nervous, but if I had to be sincere, I'll say that all you are good. You have been giving us a really good competition, so you have to try the best of yourself tonight. I wish you my best.
My dear Natalie, I think that maybe I will win if I say that Eric must be surprising us today. He has been doing a great job throughout this adventure in the kitchen.
Well, I don't know because Marida has good ingredients, but I see her a little anxious. So she could have won if she cut down and organized her station.
All of you are optimists, but the definite winner of this challenge is Kayla. She must have been the only one who's thinking of innovating. She's really good. I have seen her all her process and I do believe in her.
No, guys, in the case of Eric, he could have been using other complex ingredients, but he's working with the traditional pasta that we know. So we will see if it is worth the risk.
Yes, Sophie, I agree with you. And that's really good. But this competition is about exploring and trying new things. If the last MasterChef winner had been using traditional techniques and ingredients, he could have lost all the advance. And obviously, he may have been a lost cause.
Oh, did you see that guy? He must have cooked the pizza he watched on an Italian food tutorial.
Pizza might have been a lot of time in the oven. It cannot be too much time there for sure.
It must be bored, don't you think?
He should have seen the correct time. Don't worry about it.
He couldn't have seen the little clock that the oven has. He may not have realized that pizza is turning into a black color.
I hope that they rush to finish their dishes. Marida is calmer, but her dish could have been better if she calculated her time.
Yes, it's true. Time is very important in this challenge.
But hey, what do you think about Tamara? Maybe her ambition makes that she must have believed it was going to be a good dish, but definitely something is missing and it couldn't have happened. I'm so sorry for her. She had high possibilities.
I feel her so confident, and this might have her consequences. Natalie, remember that in the last challenge he could have had better results, but she liked paying attention. We have to wait.
But she could have been ill that day. Remember? Maybe she was not at her 100%. It happens all the time here.
Well, that's true. Anyway, it's not going to be an easy challenge, but it's just my opinion.
Okay, thanks what you want. All of them could have been doing a great job. But Eric has something more. Passion for what he's doing. So he must win this challenge. I hope so.
We will see what happens next and who will let their Italian taste grow and participate in the plate.
There's just something that is sure, and it is that today we might have eaten delicious dishes. I'm ready, do you are?
The truth is that we could have seen other dishes in another part of the competition, but at this moment we have big competitors.